He likes the way it smells, lingering juniper and sandpaper instead of wood polish and wax. When he climbs inside and turns to lie on his belly, the pinpricks of light shining through the holes sting his eyes, just enough hurt to make them water and blur. Aaron kicks him in the ankle when Ezra climbs out again, rubbing his eyes and complaining about the light. The people in there wouldn't be looking, he says, rolling his eyes. Zadie swats the back of his head. Don't kick your sister. His voice has a gravelly rasp, and he rarely raises it. But his stern whisper is more commanding than their father's shout. Yeah, Ezra says, sticking out his tongue. Don't kick your sister. Aaron makes a face. Ezra makes one back. Zadie sighs, long-suffering, and turns up the sound on the ancient radio. Don't tell your brother, Zadie will tell him, with a conspiratorial wink and a second toaster waffle. But if you were a boy, I'd hand this place over to you. Every morning, from the time he's old enough to walk until the spring he turns 7, Ezra follows Zadie across the yard that connects their family house to the funeral home. Holding Ezra's hand, Zadie unlocks the staff entrance, and Ezra trails after him as he walks from room to room, turning on lamps and adjusting thermostats, fluffing the drapes, checking on the eternal light in the chapel, making sure the little signs on the display room caskets are arranged just so. Once everything is arranged to his satisfaction, he leads Ezra down into the basement, where Ezra sits at the rickety staff table in the kitchen and eats a toaster waffle and watches his grandfather start the first pot of coffee, then sit down to read the obituaries. I could be a boy, Ezra says every time, and Zadie pats his head and tells him to eat, nudging the bottle of maple syrup across the table toward him with a conspiratorial wink. Extra syrup is a sacred secret they share. Ezra tells himself that it's silly to feel hurt over these dismissals. He doesn't know how to explain how much he hates the long hair his parents refuse to let him cut, the skirts Mom insists he wears on Shabbat. Aaron gets to wear pants. I swear, sweetheart, Mom tells him. There is an exasperation in her voice. She has sent him up to his room the 3rd Saturday in a row with firm instructions. Change your clothes. I'm ready for you to be done with this phase. When he looks back, years later, Ezra's never sure why he always turned to his grandfather. What support he was hoping he'd get, what he was hoping Zadie would say. Whatever it was, he never said it, and Ezra, reluctant and pouting, would give in. The morning before Zadie dies, Ezra resists. He sits on the stairs and refuses to go to shul if he has to wear a dress. He wraps himself around the banister, arms and legs both, and ignores his mother's attempts to cajole, guilt, and coerce him. Becca, just a year old, is squirming and fussy in her arms. It's not until Dad threatens to change him himself that Zadie steps in. I'll stay home today, he says, stopping any argument in its tracks. You go on. They go, Aaron the only one who waves at Ezra on his way out the door, and that's what makes Ezra cry. He unwraps himself from around the banister and puts his arms around his knees, burying his face in them, crying like Becca does, loud and without rules. He is frustrated and confused and hurt and not sure why. Zadie sits down next to him, his bones creaking audibly. He pats Ezra's shoulder. Your mother isn't angry at you, he says, but you should listen to her. Ezra wipes his nose. It's a stupid rule, he mutters. Maybe, Zadie allows, but you still need to listen. Any other morning.